Sam, you've done so much for me and my craft. I'd be honored if you would accept this gift. I made it so you can withdraw more materials.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
I've been patching up your structures like I said I would. Don't know if you've noticed any difference. Seeing what you've built up close has really brought it home how much you've done to help people of this continent. And I suppose it's also made me realize how much I still have to contribute. You're an inspiration, Sam. And I hope to be more like you.
Order completed. Well done.
Come on! Is that all you got? Hey! Can anybody hear me? Somebody lend me a hand!
Let's get a move on.
Now leaving chiral network coverage.
Process your orders and requests.
Thanks for coming. I've been looking forward to this delivery. Now let's take a look. Good job. Looks in perfect condition to me. My research is going well, and I have you to thank for it. All that's left is to connect me to the chiral network. I'm ready. Now displaying your current porter grade.
I have something I'd like to give you. I hope it's to your liking. All hooked up at last. Turns out it was absolutely riddled with parasitic chiral microbes. It would seem their presence was enough to alter the emu's temporal flow, which is probably why it didn't grow older when exposed to timefall. This all but confirms what the chronobiologist has been saying. Hosts for these chiral microbes are subject to the timeless influence of the beach. It's still unclear how this might be related to extinction entities, but it's a vital clue for solving the mystery of the Death Stranding. An extinction entity has the capacity to trigger the last stranding. And if that comes to pass, the end of humanity itself is assured. Higgs attempted to make use of one such entity back in the UCA, but I know you personally put a stop to his plans. Hartman told me everything about those events. It's anyone's guess what Higgs is trying to accomplish this time, but I believe in you. And that's why I'm giving you these. EX capture grenades are invaluable weapons that work by leveraging the temporal properties of parasitic chiromicrobes to great effect. In essence, they allow you to defeat weakened BTs in an instant by drastically destabilizing their intrinsic flow of time. But that's not all. These grenades can give you the means to summon your own BTs to attack other BTs. Should work on all larger specimens. I've prepared a few for immediate use. There's so much we can learn by studying chiral microbes, you know? They might even hold the answer to treating 21-minute syndromes like mine. While we've discovered plenty of chiral creatures that resemble smaller animals like rats and spiders, as their name might suggest, chiral microbes are even tinier. They're parasitic by nature and favor hosts from the world of the dead. They're just an amazing discovery all around. The final missing piece I needed for my research. Yes. Next time you're able to inflict significant damage on a large BT, try tossing an EX capture grenade into its mouth. Not only will you neutralize your foe, but you'll find it also leaves behind a milky white chiral crystal. I've taken to calling these objects BT crystals. If you see one, make sure you don't forget to pick it up. I say that because if you've got one on hand, you'll be able to use it the next time you encounter a large BT. The BT crystal will react with the tar and transform into a variant of the BT you captured. When activated, the crystal will summon a variant of the BT that spawned it, which will emerge from the depths of the tar. Ordinary large BTs will perceive this variant as a critical threat and proceed to attack on sight. Yes, I'm also a member of the 21-Minute Anxiety Association. The chronobiologist happens to be another member. We're sisters, in fact. Our mother belongs to the group, too. She's a hydrologist working out of Hartman's lab. Perhaps you've already met? We've all got similar conditions, but I'm not sure if genetics is a relevant factor. But whatever the cause of our syndromes may be, we are all trying to study the world and find answers in our own ways. In recent days, large BTs have been growing more active in the region to the south of this facility. It's possible that this too could be a consequence of Higgs's efforts. If you're headed that way, you had better be prepared for the worst. Though that might also be a good opportunity to give those EX capture grenades a try. I just know they'll prove effective. And if you're interested in some additional work, I'd also like you to take the emu you brought me to the animal shelter. The staff there want to look after it, and I don't have the proper facilities to give it a home here anyway. I've posted a sub-order for this request. There's no rush. You can pick it up from the delivery terminal here whenever you're ready. Thanks again for all your help. I'll probably be hitting you up again.
Sam, your next destination is the F5 East Distribution Center, which can be found near the southeast shore of the lake close by. I'm told one of the staff members there is an old acquaintance of yours. Anyway, a main order has been entered into the system. You can access the delivery terminal here to undertake it. That said, another request concerning the animal you rescued has also caught my eye. Alternatively, you can undertake this sub-order first if you wish. I'll leave it up to you, Sam.
Order completed.
Thanks for coming in this dismal weather. You fielded a bunch of requests, and it wasn't easy. Thank you. You've been a pillar of support. You can use more of my materials now.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Don't freak out, but it's exactly what it looks like. This hat is a living organism. I raised it here, in fact. It regularly emits cries that humans can't hear. But when other chiral creatures hear the sound, they grow much more calm and relaxed. I've actually been studying the unique noises chiral creatures make as part of a joint project with the musician. And at some point, this little guy started copying what he heard in my lab. I don't understand it myself yet, but the takeaway is that if you wear this hat, you should find it easier to pass through areas with chiral creatures. Put it on and test it out. And come back soon.
Order complete.
Now entering chiral network coverage.
Hi! Bring it on! Come on! Hey! Hey, hey!
Oh boy, that must hurt.
That all you got?
With your help, research has been trucking along, and we've developed something you might find useful. Your materials allocation has been...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
We're proud to share with you the version of the bulk skeleton we have been striving to achieve. This one boasts even greater power than before, and an increased maximum carrying capacity. Naturally, this called for a more efficient battery, so the operating life has been extended as well. Oh, this last part was especially difficult, but we also found ways to make it lighter than ever before. So much so that this newest model can be carried as a small-sized piece of cargo. Nothing would make us happier than knowing you were using our gear. Come visit us again soon.
Order.
Order completed. Well done.
Welcome. I'm glad that you could make it. Oh, wow, you found this? Well, I want you to know how grateful I am. I've made great strides in my research, and I owe it all to you. Please accept this as thanks. I'm willing to bet you could use more materials.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
There's no telling what kind of cryptobiotes will show up, so it's a lot like playing roulette. Let me know how it goes, alright?
Order complete.
Good morning to you, Sam.
Good morning, Sam. Why don't you try... I saw that you received EX capture grenades from the metagenomicist. To think that the parasitic chiral microbes you brought her could be repurposed to infect and birth variant BTs in such a manner. Namely, by combining BT crystals with your own DNA to produce BT cores. If this is indeed true, it's a truly incredible discovery. You have to test this theory at the earliest opportunity, Sam. I'm eager to see what happens.
You really helped me with my research. Here's a little something as thanks. You can use more of my materials now. I hope you make wonderful things with...
Now displaying your current porter grade.
It should come in handy, especially if you go through a lot of those crystals. I hope you find it to your liking.
Order completed. Well done.
process your orders at request.
Of course. Let's talk of those.
Sam, hey there, buddy. Was hoping I'd get to see you. It's me. Don't act like you've forgotten. Well, you didn't think it was Igor, did you? Anyway, guess I better process that cargo of yours. Gotta say, Sam, you really are the best. Bringing me deliveries in such great condition. I don't even know how many times you've come to my rescue, Sam. All right, it's time for you to do you-know-what.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
You're a real lifesaver, you know? I'm guessing you saw the tar lake out west of here, yeah? That's where the settlement known as Lakeside Fort Knott used to be. Whole place got wiped clean off the map by a void out. And since that day, the tar's been eating away at this facility. Some weirdness with the currents, or at least that's what folks are saying. But the stuff you just brought me, I might just be able to keep the tar corrosion at bay. Finally. I've shared some data with you as well. Feast your eyes on these grenade launcher and cargo catapult schematics, both new and improved designs. You'll find they're a damn sight better than stuff you used to use back in the UCA. Recently, folks living here have been talking about this group of guys in red they saw creeping around. Got something to do with Higgs, more likely than not. One more thing that's had us worried these days. But now that you're here, I think we can all finally take a breath. Before I forget, got a new suit design to give you as a gift. One favored by a prepper back in the UCAs, you may recall. Try it out for size, why don't you? It happened sometime after I arrived with one of the early expeditions. A giant BT showed up, made contact with residents, and boom, void out. Same old story. Massive void outs happen in the UCA too, remember? Or maybe you don't. Chiral network coverage was somehow unaffected, but unfortunately, thousands of people were caught in the explosion. And you know, every time this happens, I can't help but think about Igor. Well, the grenade launcher has been configured to fire MP shells. Human, mech, BT, doesn't matter. You can use it against all types of enemies. Now, the cargo catapult still does exactly what you'd expect. Lets you fling containers to the tops of mountains and whatnot. However, you can now also use catapults to launch certain throwable weapons as projectiles. After launching a payload, you can use a catapult pod's integrated camera to tweak trajectory and aim for a specific point of impact. It's a way of attacking targets in hostile areas from a good, safe distance. Pretty cool, right? This stuff will come in handy, I'm sure of it. Something like that. I suspect it was a squad of ghost mechs myself. I heard about you shutting down that weapons factory, but arms and ammo are still finding their ways into the hands of bad guys, aren't they? So Higgs is still stirring up trouble behind the scenes, I presume. We're attempting to develop methods to help folks put a stop to his activities. And the weapon data we shared with you is one of the products of our efforts. I tell you, a world where we don't need these damn things can't come soon enough. But on the bright side, we at least have some researchers who are based in Lakeside Fort Knott helping us out here. And if you're up for it, maybe you can help us with our work too. This is just how it went down back in the UCA. We think we were done for. Then the man who delivers shows up. Truth is, you're the reason I volunteered for the advanced expedition. The reason I was able to keep going. We figured if I did, I might get a chance to see you again. That BB pod you're carrying is different than I remember. Doesn't have my brother's keepsake attached anymore either. But hey, life's not just about things. Promise me you'll never forget Igor, Sam. He's gone, but he still feels so close, you know? Sorry. We should probably talk about work. An order with your name on it just came in. A request from a guy not far from here who spends his days fishing in the tar. Come to think of it, I believe he's one of the precious few survivors of the Lakeside Fort Knott Voidout. It's filed under sub-orders on the delivery terminal here. Take a gander and see what you think. Right. I'll leave you to it. Keep on keeping on.
Fine work as always, Sam. Now come back to this ship and get some rest. Also, we've identified what may be a ghost mech outpost. I'd like you on standby. Your next order might be a dangerous one.
Seeing any BTs nearby? Let's move quickly and grab the cargo. Sam, did you hear that? It sounded like a creature of some sort.
Access the delivery terminal.
You got it back for me. You really went out and recovered every last container. Right, give me just a moment to check the damage. Gotta say, thank you so much, really. All right, use your Cupid to put me on the network.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
So you hooked me up. Cheers for that. The network should help me continue my pursuit of the Lord. Yeah, him. I wager you've heard him sing out by the Tar Lake, haven't you? Private fella, Rarely shows his face, but when he does appear again, it'll be a bloody catastrophe. On a scale of what happened to Lakeside Fort Knott. Catch my drift? But it's my hope that the cargo you pulled over here will prevent anything like that. So, thanks again, Sam. Oh, and the data I shared with you is for a remote detonation grenade launcher. Humans, mechs, BTs, it's good against them all. Something tells me you're gonna need it real soon. The Lord of the Tar Lake, a monstrous fish, legendary round these parts. I went out with some mates of mine to try and finally catch the bastard, which is how we learned we weren't dealing with a fish at all. It's a giant BT. In fact, it used to be a pair of giant BTs, and one of them was responsible for the void out that reduced Lakeside Fort Knott to a smoking crater. Our ship went down in the chaos. My mates went down with it. I was the only survivor. Couldn't tell you how I got away from the wreck. Don't remember a thing. I woke up in the company of those twins. They're the ones who saved my life. But don't think that's the end of the story. I can still hear the Lord singing, the other BT. It's still out there. And we've got to do whatever it takes to kill it. The cargo you brought me from our ship is just the thing we need to track it down. I'll be conducting a detailed investigation. And when I've got a lead on its whereabouts, I hope I can count on your help. After firing a grenade, you can use a switch on the launcher to detonate the shell manually. Timing is everything when you're in the middle of a fight, but you can also use this function to set up traps in advance from a safe distance. Comes in quite handy for me when I need to drive off nosy chiral creatures. You should experiment with it. Cheers for the help. Really, the Lord of the Tar Lake is a threat we can't afford to ignore. It's a catastrophe waiting to happen. So I will need your assistance in the future. It's not the kind of enemy I can take on alone. I'll update you when I know more. Until then, stay safe and stay in touch, mate. Thanks for the help, as always. Good for you, getting this cargo here. I've been making progress in my work thanks to you. Let me give you a little something in return. You need more materials, am I right?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
It's a cargo cover designed for use with a backpack like yours. You can use it to protect your deliveries from the degradation caused by timefall. And if you happen to take a bit of a tumble, it'll prevent your cargo from falling out of your backpack as well. Of course, there's a limit to how much cargo you can shield with it, and important pieces take priority, obviously. No doubt you'll have plenty of those, so be sure to use the cover to protect them. And just so you know, I'm making progress in my investigation into the Lord of the Tar Lake. I've finally been able to access the observational records from that cargo you went out and recovered for me. It seems the Lord doesn't usually emerge from the depths for one and all to see. I'll review the historical data on hand and try to determine what, if anything, might prompt him to reveal himself. Thanks again for your help, and be safe.
Thanks for the help. This one's for you.
Glad to have you back. Look at this combat log. You're a dangerous man. I've been waiting forever for this cargo to show. I have something you'll love. A gift I was able to prepare all because of you. You need more material.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
It's a lightweight remote detonation grenade launcher. Can be stored as an S-sized piece of cargo if needed, which means you can clip it to your shoulders or hips in a pinch. So even if you ditch your pack, you can easily carry the launcher. Makes it all the more appealing, as I'm sure you'll agree. You've done so much to help support my hunt for the Lord. I know now that it's a giant BT. There are reports of these giant BTs appearing when a catcher or hunter's got its mitts on a human, or when a high-level doom sufferer leverages their powers to summon one. But none of that tallies with the Lord's recorded sightings. There has to be some other factor that causes it to appear. And my next objective is to identify what that factor is. I hope I can continue to count on your help. You take care now.
Order completed. Well done.
Thanks for the help, Azul. Good for you, getting this. This seem useful to you? Hope so, because it's yours. Got enough materials on hand?
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Given your long runs, I reckon your cargo needs all the extra protection it can get. Now, I'm pleased to say I'm closer than ever to tracking down the Lord of the Tar Lake. Based on the observational records, I think I've finally determined what the missing piece was. There's evidence suggesting that another entity was active in the vicinity just before the Lord appeared. I'm not 100%, but I suspect it was probably some type of large BT. It apparently had tentacles emerging from its head and fin-like appendages as well. Personally, though, I've never seen any large BT specimen even remotely like that. So I'll be focusing my search on identifying just what it was. We've still got plenty of work to do. Keep an eye out for my orders. And drop by when you can.
Order completed. Well done.
up now! Bring it up!
Doesn't look too pretty outside. Excellent work, Sam. You've been a true friend, Sam. And that's why I want you to have these. I'm increasing the materials allocation for you.
Now displaying your current porter grade.
Absolute boots are sturdy as hell and boast exceptional grip. They also excel at absorbing impacts, so you ought to take less damage when landing from a long fall. You might find them a bit heavy, though, so try them on for size first. I hope you get a kick out of them, if you know what I mean. So you know, we're thinking of making some improvements to existing weapon systems. Feel free to lend us a hand if you're interested.